everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, and this is Flosstube video number 41. It has been a minute. It really has. I did not mean to not film last week. I was gone for spring break. Spring break was interesting, to say the least. My mom was here. She stayed for 3 weeks, and then she left. She left on the Tuesday. Everything went fine. There were no issues. She got home all right and everything. And then by Friday of that week, my youngest was not feeling well, and I think that it was all allergy related. But she stayed home on Friday. Then Saturday she was perfect again, and then my husband and I were out in the front yard doing weeding and stuff in the front yard. Our HOA sent out a notice that if we didn't have things done by May, fines would start going out, yada, yada, yada. The boring stuff. So he and I had spent Saturday de-weeding the yard and, the area out there. And then on Sunday, he was not feeling well. He woke up with a case of man flu. And so then I proceeded to finish doing the yard work. I had planted a bunch of flowers out in the garden area, and then I had been propagating some grass seed, and so it was time to spread the grass seed out. And then, of course, so then I did all that work on Sunday. Then he stayed home on Monday, but he was feeling much better. By Monday evening, I wasn't feeling very well. And then some snow moved in on top of the flowers and everything that we had put out, because it's Colorado and spring is not spring until there's been snow. So, it was a thing. And then yesterday, we spent the morning with my youngest in urgent care because on Saturday, the kids were supposed to be cleaning their rooms, which means they spent all of 10 minutes cleaning. And then after that, they started playing with each other. And they were pretending to be cats. And my oldest told the youngest to pounce on me. So the youngest pounced, and then the oldest, I think, flipped the youngest, and her foot, I don't know if she just hit the floor or if it hit something, but then her foot was hurting and it was swollen. And Saturday, so all of that day Saturday, I was giving her Tylenol, I was icing it every 15-20 minutes, resting it, elevating it, all the normal things. And, by Monday morning, she was still like, no, this still hurts. So I took her to urgent care. We had some x-rays done. There was no break. But yeah, so like it's been a lot these last couple of days when I was wanting to film, but so that brings me into what I have been working on and what I had not been working on. Give me just a moment. Sorry, the dog wanted to go out. So I didn't work on a lot of my main projects for the rest of March with, spring break coming up. The only ones that I ended up working on are those pre-printed kits that I had purchased, and I was working on 2 of them. The one that I had been working on, I can show you where that's at. Still not much. I still have less than 200 to finish this section that I was in. Now that you can really even see what's going on. But I did work on this somewhat over spring break. And this one is lots and lots of confetti. To remind you what this one looks like, it looks like this. And I am along this left edge that I have turned sideways because of how long this is. So I did work on that a little bit, but not very much. Not very much. And then the other one that I worked on that was also the pre-printed kit is this one because it is big blocks of color. The other one is confetti, and it would start to annoy me. So then I would switch over to this one to get some big blocks of color in. This one looks like this. So that was really the only cross stitching that I did towards the end of March during spring break. So let me show you where I ended for March's projects. So project number 1 was The Lady of the Thread by Lavender and Lace. And I don't even remember where it was the last time I showed you, but this is where I ended it for March. I was just bringing it down and working. So that's where project 1 ends for March. And I will pick this back up again in, I don't know, is it June or July? I don't even remember anymore. And project number 2 was, where's the book for this? Hold on a second. Okay. Project number 2 is the Dutch Beauty Sampler. And I ended this. I don't think I worked on it much after the last time you saw it. I was working on this deer down here. So that was where I ended it for March. And for project 3, I did not start on it. That was going to be the Chatelene. And I did go up to the specialty needle store up in Denver, or just outside of Denver. And I got the threads that I needed. I think there was only one thread that I couldn't get, and it was because I needed 2 colors, and the 2 colors that they had were from different dye lots. But the difference between these, the DMC, and the actual threads that's called for, this is a variegated color. They're all variegated colors. Every single one. And they're just so beautiful. And they're so soft. Like, I just want to caress. Like, I want to sit here like Golem and be like, my precious, and just stroke my silky threads. But like I said, I got all of them that I needed except for like one color, and it's because the 2 strands that they had were from different dye lots. So they were going to order me that color in as well as the beads that I would need for the piece. So now I have almost everything. And I just need to figure out what fabric I want to put it on, or if I'm going to dye it myself. This is the shop. They said that they also take online orders. So down here, is their website. You can take a picture of the threads that you need, and they will pull it, make sure everything looks like it's in a dye lot, and then send it to you. So I'm really excited to actually start on the chatelaine. So even though I didn't really start it in March, I do now have all the threads for it, and I have the pattern. Now I just need to get the fabric the next time this comes up in June or July. Forget which time. So that is all taken care of too. And then project 4 for March was the Plaid Bucilla kit, 4 seasons. The kit came with 28 count ivory Evenweave, and I dyed it because I refuse to stitch on white fabric. So this is where I ended for March. So this is the spring quadrant. So yeah, that was where I ended my 4 projects for the month. Now we are on to April. So let me show you what I've started, what I haven't. Well, no, I've started everything. I don't know why I said that, because I'm still thinking of the chatelaine. That's why I said that. So for the month of April, and I still haven't even worked on them all that often. I haven't been feeling very well. And so I've just been relaxing. I'm like, I was sick a few days ago. I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to read my book. You know, that's how it's been. So project number 1 for the month of April is Teresa Wentzler. I started another Teresa Wentzler. This is the Woodland Fairy. And this is specifically charted with this. Everything is 2/2 because it's 28 count. And then the skin is specifically charted 1/1. So that's why I did that with my Mirabilia a couple months ago, so that I would be more used to it for the Woodland Fairy. Okay, so I ordered some fabric for it, and I ended up getting 2 of them, so I'll show you the one that I didn't use. So from Fabric Flair, is it Fabric Flair? It's on here somewhere. Yes, from Fabric Flair. This is Flower Champagne. Oh, you can't really see it very well. So it's like pink and golden. You know, it's very... I've never ordered from Fabric Flair before. I know that they print on the canvas, the fabric. You can't really see it, but there's like some... Yeah, I don't know how well you can see that. There are like whitish, sort of like doodles in here. And there's sort of like some leaf print in here. Yeah. Don't know how well you can see those colors, how well they're turning out. But this is what my Teresa Wentzler is on. And I did get the opalescent added to it, but it really just kind of looks like glitter that's interspersed in here, so it's not as sparkly as I was expecting. That's annoying. So anyway, here is my start that I've been working on, the Woodland Fairy. This right here is the fairy's head and face and hair. And so the rest of it is just lots and lots of green. And it's a Teresa Wentzler, so like almost every single color that I've been using so far has been a blend. So yeah, there is my start on the Woodland Fairy for April. I've only got another, what, week and a half before it's time to switch and I go back to what my January projects were. So project 2 is Pentecost by Practical Blackwork. And this is one that I've been working on since last year. This was the first time that I got to work. No, not the first time. This is the second time I've got to work on it since this new year. And I finished this. I finished the diamondy bit. I had finished the leaves, I think, before. So I think the last time you saw it, I was up in here. So I had finished out this section and I finished out this section. And now I'm moving on to this half of the square. And then I'll come down here and finish up what's over here before I get to turn it. This is, I'm so close to being done. This is 73% done, 72% done. I'm almost at the 75% mark. And the way this was done is in like the 4 quarters. So when I'm done with this section, I will rotate it and then finish out the area. I'm so excited. This one is so close to being finished. I might get this one done this year. And then project 3 is, I'm also back to one from last year. I am working on Heaven and Earth Designs, Risque by Amy Brown. I am doing a blue conversion, so the fairy is not in red. Here's the conversion from that I printed out of Pattern Keeper. Okay, so this one, oh yeah, here. Oh goodness, everything is just a mess. Okay, so when I picked it back up, I was right in this little corner. So I've worked on this little corner and I'm just bringing it over to the edge. These are all of my these are all of my colors. I'm working on the 10 by 10 section and then I find the nearest symbol to it and then I park it until and I'm just going left to right and then like a typewriter back and forth. So yeah, this one, that one I can give you a stat on. Where is my phone? I don't know where my phone is, so I can't give you stats. I've misplaced my notebooks, which is why I haven't told you like the hours that I've worked on anything. I've misplaced like everything since my mom is here, and I'm just like trying to find it, and I don't know. I don't know where it's at. So although my phone is not what's misplaced. Here it is. Here's my phone. I was like, my phone is not what's misplaced, but okay. So on Risque, I am at 11,351 stitches out of 74,797, and I am at 15.18%. So that one I can give you a stat one. All the others I can't really. And then project number 4 is also from last year. With the exception of the Teresa Wentzler, everything was just from last year. And I am working on a Plaid Bucilla kit. This is called Hummingbird and Floral. It's by Donna Dewberry. And here is where I am. I'm just working in this purple flower and just sort of coming up with everything going on. With everything going on and going around. So this one, I don't even know how much, but I'm pretty close. Like, this is the pattern. So, I mean, I just have this little bit of flowers that's right here and the hummingbird, and then to finish the back stitching, which the bottom half, all the back stitching on it is done. So what would you estimate this as? Would you say I'm over 75% done on this piece? Like, yeah, it's more than 75% done, I'd say. It's just weird because there's, you know, all the blank space in here. But I just need to finish here, up, and our hummingbird. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. As I said, there's another week and a half left before I would have to switch. Yeah, so that's it for my stitching pieces. I have been doing a few other things. Give me just a moment. Okay, so besides the stitching, which I haven't been doing a lot of, I've been doing a lot of reading or listening to a book, an audiobook. I was trying to listen to the audiobooks mainly while I'm stitching, but sometimes I just do it in my car too. And then as far as artistically speaking, one of the things that I've been doing a lot of is some nail art. If you've watched some of my older videos before I started doing Flosstube, I had some indie nail videos. Most of it was sort of like nail polishes that I purchased and were sort of swatching, not very good at it. But, you know, as you can see, I haven't been doing my nails in a while. Last year sometime is when I quit doing them. And I sort of got back into nails, sort of. Obviously, not right now. But like in a different way than I was before. Before I was obsessed with indie nail brands and trying to get my nails to grow. And I have thyroid disease. I'm hypothyroid and my nails are crap. Like, this is a really good example of how they split and they just, like, these two are okay-ish, but like these two and my thumb, how they split and they crack and they don't grow. They don't grow. And it's a big pet peeve of mine. It really is. It bothers me that my nails don't grow, and when they do reach a certain length, then they just start splitting and fracturing, and it can be kind of painful too. Which was why I had been getting my nails done for the longest time, but it's an expense that we don't really need. So I I got press-on nails at the store, and I was like, these are a lot different than the press-on nails when I was a kid. They stick a little bit better. They look better, that kind of thing. But I was like, I have all this nail polish. I have all these things. Let me see if I can find the blanks, nail blanks. I don't know what else to call them. Let me see if I can find them and I can get some and paint them myself. And that's what I've been doing because I haven't been stitching, is I've been painting nails and creating nail art for press-on nails. And you can stop watching now. Since I'm done with the Flosstube part, but I will show you some of the things that I've been doing just because it was something that I was doing that was creative and fun. Some of these I was just trying to recreate some press-on nails that I saw. These are black and no, these are dark purple and like silver. And these are purple and silver chrome. These were like the other pair, but this is black and pink. And these are like a pink gradient with some stripes and some bling. And then I did these with some nail stickers. And these are some cat eyes, cat eye polish that I was trying to get to work. And then I made some little ladybugs. And I did some blue with some white. These ones were teal with some of the chrome powder. These were green and champagne with some bling. This was an indie polish that's like my favorite polish. These are, I can't really see them very well. These are strawberries, and you see, I used like a chrome powder for the seeds. Some watermelons. Just some purple sparkle with some bling. Yellow with pearls and flowers. And then this last pair I painted yesterday, some mushrooms. So that's what I've been doing. It's weird. I know, it's weird, but I was trying to paint some nails for me that'll look cute and won't break the bank. A very, very cheap manicure. So that's where I am for my projects, and hopefully I will be feeling better. Hopefully my kids will be feeling better. Hopefully my husband will be feeling better, and then I can actually film next Monday. And it would be the last update of these 4 projects before I would be switching to all the projects that I worked on in January. So next week I will show you where I'm at for these and show you where I'm starting with the next 4. So now I'm finally in the rotation. There are no new projects except for the Chatelene, but I'm not really counting that as a new project because technically I feel like I started it even though I haven't actually put thread onto fabric. But in my brain, I have already started my Chatelene. So no more new projects until one of these 4, 8, 12, 16, until one of these 16 projects are finished. So I will see everyone next week.